Well, here's an example of the output from the SAM software, which is the sway analysis module. We tested someone two-footed, eyes open, two-footed, eyes closed. And from that testing parameter, you can get a tremendous amount of information. First, you can look at the weight-bearing component of the foot. So if you look here, if 47% of the weight bearing is on the left side, 53% on the right side. You can look at that in terms of forefoot and rear foot. In terms of the forefoot, is 52% on the left side and 48% on the rear foot on the left side. On the right foot, you have 48% on the forefoot and 52% on the rear foot. So you can look here just in static stance and kind of get a feel for a little bit different use of the toes, a little bit heavy on the right heel, and then you can put some objective numbers to the visual that you have. When we look further to try to identify what the sway patterns are, this graph right here will identify the sway pattern for the right to left or medial lateral. The red indicates the first trial, the green indicates the second trial. So you can see here that he doesn't have a tremendous amount of sway from right to left, with the red trial being eyes open and the green trial actually a little bit more stable on the right to left parameters with his eyes closed. If we look at the AP sway, the red line being the first trial, which means his eyes are open. You can see that he actually has a tendency to move a little bit more posteriorly on his heels, but again, that was reflective up here in the way that he naturally stood. When he closes his eyes, that AP sway, it creases a little bit, which we would expect. However, it also has the ability to be a little bit more even anterior to posterior, as opposed to hanging out on the back of his heels. If we look further here, the information that's collected over time is then fit with an oval, so it's the best fit oval, and we calculate the area of that oval, which will give us an area value here. So here we have the qualitative presentation with the eyes open, and here's the qualitative presentation with the eyes closed. Here is the quantitative value, 0.60 with the eyes open, 0.39 with his eyes closed. Now, inside these ovals are all these dark dotted lines. These parameters here are the point-by-point data that's collected over the 30-second total acquisition. If you take all of these little points and connect them by a line, and then take that line and pull it out like a straight string, you will then have distance information of the total distance that the point has traveled. The remainder of the information that's in the table, again, is taking the qualitative information and dropping it into a table for ease. So here is the weight bearing on the left and the right total. We already looked at those total numbers. And then the forefoot and rear foot that we already looked at those numbers there. So in a very short period of time, with very simplistic testing paradigm, you can get a tremendous amount of information.